Do I look good?
What's Gucci?
What's up, mate? I'm back. I'm back.
I'm back.
And I feel like I look like I'm doing good. Let's go with that. I'm hungry as usual. I haven't filmed in 50 years and it feels so good to film again. I'm
Thriving.
Hi guys. We're gonna take a trip down memory lane. We're talking about my embarrassing moments. Here's the thing, my brain, it does this thing where I can remember things that happened to me like from 20 years ago, but I cannot remember things that happened to me like 2 years ago, 5 years ago. Let me tell you, I cannot tell you what happened on my 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th year of life. Those years are a blur. Many of these embarrassing stories are gonna come from, you know, like middle school era, kindergarten era, you know, when I was really young, when my brain was processing things top notch. Let's just dive into the sea of regret, shall we, ladies? Alright, the first story, we're gonna call it the van incident. So there was a period in time where I used to live so far away from school, and so I wouldn't normally go with the official school bus. I would go with the you know, someone that's just driving to different schools, like someone who's offered those services. One time they have like a normal van, but other times they have these vans where you're sitting opposite from each other, so you're like facing each other like this, right? One day the driver comes with that, you know, with that van, with that car that you sit facing each other like this. Just thinking of that was an ugly laugh. Thinking about the story makes me cringe. The van arrives, okay? The van arrives, I'm waiting for it. It's early in the morning, it's cold. You know, let me set the mood. It was cold, chilly, Monday morning. Actually, I can't remember what morning it was. Why am I closing my eyes? The van arrives and I hop in. At this time, many other kids have been picked up, you know? Kids from my area. Well, I sit down in my spot, and across from me was another boy who happened to be a guy I was slightly crushing on. So I'm sitting across from him, right? The van starts moving and we're going to school, you know, hippity hoppity, going to school. Get to a point, we hit a bump. Those cars kind of like, it's like the front cabin. It's like a pickup, only that the back is like a cabin where people can sit. So we're sitting, and then we hit the pothole. Sorry, what the hell? I don't know. For
Some
reason, I was the only one who went flying. And guess what direction I went flying in? Forward. Not just like, oops. No, bitch. I fell. This is so embarrassing. I fell onto my crush's lap. You know, he's just sitting there, and then girl comes flying onto his lap. So he's like, the fuck? When I landed on his lap, I don't know why, I did this like I like looked at him like this. And then for like a split second, I was just looking at him and I was like, what the fuck just happened? How am I on the floor? No one fell. I snap back into my senses and I go back to my chair. I was so embarrassed. If I had lighter skin, I would be red all over. I'd be a tomato. He just looked at me like, this girl is so weird. Why the hell did she fall into her lap? Bitch, I don't know. The car hit a bump. It's not my fault. I fell onto your lap. Like, everyone is sitting like that, right? But for some reason, Natasha, whoop, onto a boy's laps. Like, I was like literally in between. I remember looking through the length of the van, and everyone kind of looked at me. but I tried to block that. Like, no one was even laughing. Like, the atmosphere was so fucking tense. And for what? That was it. Like, I went back to my chair and I pretended nothing happened, went to school, and I've never forgotten that day. If you want to know an update, I never told that guy that I like him. We actually never talked, so he was just a boy in my van. And as if I haven't had enough embarrassing moments with guys that I like, the next story also involves a guy that I liked. And this was in kindergarten. Damn, these feelings, these attractions, these hormones really started early. This was in kindergarten, and my crush was called Julian. Aww. I am deliberately saying that, Julian, if we're out there, you know, we can always link up, you know, we can be friends. I've fucking glowed up now, okay? You have no reason to say no. So, this is in kindergarten. The setting is in school. Now, my kindergarten, it was a cool one. Like, if I could go back to school, I would go back to fucking kindergarten. Kindergarten was the epitome of my life. It was amazing. We did a lot of arts and crafts. We had a lot of extracurricular activities. I would do like computer classes, which meant playing Big Bird, the game, as a computer lesson, or there was baking, or there was stitching. So I did all those. Some did a few, some did none. So these activities would happen like during nap time. Like not all activities like in one afternoon, one activity per afternoon. So that afternoon I had an activity to do. I think I was baking. Let me kind of brag a bit. I was the head of the table for baking class, okay? You know, there was like a long ass table and I used to sit at the head. Like, everyone would sit like along. I used to sit at the head. I used to have the last taste. No, the first taste and the last taste. I was a package. I was a student. I was literally it. I can't remember what activity was being done that afternoon. Let's just guess it was baking. I just know I didn't go to nap time the same time. Everyone's at nap time, and then I walk in. When I think of the story, it's like, fuck. I walk in and, you know, obviously you're scanning around for an empty mattress rather. Like Julian, oh my crush. Oh my god, I was head over heels for that boy. Here's a naive looking girl, naive looking Natasha, very cute. And then there's Julian, you know, my crush. I walk in and there's two spots that have two empty mattresses. The first mattress I see is the one next to Julian. I go to that one because I want to fucking sleep next to my crush, okay? I want to get close. So I lay there, and so Julian was laying a certain direction. So when I lay down, I lay down and faced him. So I was just like looking at him. And then I don't know, he was offended by my face. And then he turned around and faced the other side. Now, I don't know why my brain failed me as a kid. You know, it's still failing me now, but why did we have to start so early? I turned the other way and I continued looking at him. No, I hate myself. I faced the other way. And then I continue looking at him, and then he gets upset again. He turns again. I am relentless as fuck, so I turn the other way and I continue looking at him. And like, I'm just looking at him, smiling. I'm turning with him. He turns again, and I do the same. I remember, like, I think the last time he did that and I did it again, he just told the teacher,
"Teacher, Natasha is disturbing me." It's like,
Bitch, run me my sack before I come.
I got up, I went over to my best friend. I called it a day. got mad at Julian, went home. Like, I don't even remember anything that happened after that. You know, kids forget easily. So, yeah, that was my story. Julian, if you wanna, you know, make amends, I'm really sorry I did that. I would never do that now. It's okay. Subtuber! You can hear the sound down there. I'm back. It's a new day and I'm in a new shirt. Yesterday the video kind of ended and then another video ended. Like it got dark. We're here. Let's continue the chill session. So it's about crushes again. So here's the thing. When I was younger, me and my cousin would go to the coast frequently. And I had a best friend down there. So we were 3 girls, right? And then there were 3 boys. If you haven't made the connection, every girl for every boy. One day, I don't know what happened. I don't even remember who said it, but we were hanging out, we were chilling, and then suddenly we went up to these boys. I think we were just talking, and then we were talking like the boys were standing against there was a building where we used to play. The building, then the like playground around there. So the guys were standing along the wall of the building, and then us girls, we walk up to them, you know.
Bold ass bitch.
So we walk up to them. They were like our friends, but you know, like we liked them, but they didn't know that. Okay. So when we walk up to them, I think it was my cousin. Okay. My cousin with a big ass gun. At some point, she said,
You guys are going to be our boyfriends.
I don't know exactly what she said, but I ran. I left the scene. Like I told you, there was a building, so I went around. I was screaming. I could not believe. What exactly did she say? We like you and you're going to be our boyfriends. All I remember is I went running like, you told him. Anyway, that's the third story. That wasn't really embarrassing because I can't really remember much about it. Hold on, where's that imagine? The last story, and this one is the epitome of it all. This happened in 7th grade swimming. It's 7th grade, and I remember I started to get really interested in swimming, like participating in swimming competitions, like really being part of the swimming team. So one afternoon I go for swimming class, and then after the coach says, "Oh, would you like to join the swim team?" Yeah. Fast forward, I've done a couple lessons, and now it's time to go for a swimming competition. Now here's the thing. I had no knowledge about, you know, the etiquette of swimming, you know, how, you know, the type of swimming costume to wear. Your girl had a trankini. Okay, I went for a swimming competition with a trankini. You can already imagine, you know, just how bad the story goes from here. So we go for the competition. I'm excited, I'm exhilarated. You know, the girl has a trankini. She's just parading around, really happy. I loved that trankini. It was my only costume, guys. So my first competition, I know nothing. The first event, or rather the only event I did, it was I think it was a freestyle relay. I was starting, and I was just really, really, really excited for this thing, guys. So I position myself, you know, I'm ready to go. I get ready on the podium, and then, you know, just on your mark. And the girl dives in. Guess what? My trunks fall below my butt to my thighs. I feel this, and I just like, oh shit, no! I'm freestyle. I'm swimming. And then as I push one hand back, I try to pull it up. So I'm like, fuck. I'm not moving because I'm really trying to focus on not embarrassing myself, because I know my butt is out. My butt is out for the whole world to see. But for some reason at the time, I didn't think that, you know, anyone could see. I'm like, I'm under the water. No one can really see my butt. But now that I think about it, you can see anything that happens in the water when you're outside. So I try to like with every stroke, I'm trying to pull up these bottoms and they're not coming up. When I get to the end, you know, I pull it back up like really quickly so that I don't delay. But I didn't pull it up completely or really properly. Then I swim to the end, and then once I reach there, I now fixed it properly. And then I remember looking to my side, and there were these two girls that were looking at me like,
What?
so at that time I didn't think that they've seen anything, because I was like, they haven't seen anything. We're both in the water. They looked at me real weird. I was so embarrassed because my whole butt was out. So now it's time to get out of the water. My top also went sideways and my boobs were out. You know, 7th grade me, everything was out. Luckily, when I was getting out, right when I emerged out of the water, I realized that my top was off. And I fixed it, hoping no one saw. And this is a place where there are beautiful people. Beautiful. And I'm embarrassing myself on the first day. So yeah, those are my stories. The only ones I can only remember. I don't have the words right now. I'm too hungry to function. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe, like, comment. If you've gotten up to this point, comment down below apple juice.
Okay, now yeah, I'm going in, no time to play. I got a dream I wanna chase. So stack the money in the bay.
I hope you guys stay great, and see ya. That was such a weird ending.